Russia is planning to retaliate against some companies that suspended operations there. Moscow may seize the assets of certain foreign-owned businesses for leaving. The White House condemned the proposal and warned that it would cause more economic pain. New analysis reveals how U.S. consumers are turning to credit cards as inflation worsens. LendingTree says nearly a third of all Americans have added credit card debt during the pandemic, with half blaming inflation. Consumer prices jumped 7.9% over the last year. And governors are facing mounting calls to suspend the gas tax as prices at the pump skyrocket nationwide. The move could drop gas prices in some states to more than a quarter per gallon. Could drop them more than a quarter per gallon. This comes as governors urge Congress to suspend the federal gas tax, which is around 18 cents a gallon, for the rest of the year. So for more on this, I want to bring in Prem Kumar. He's a principal of Albright Stonebridge Group, part of Dentons Global Advisors. Thank you so much for joining us, Prem. Let's get into this. I think a lot of people are a little confused about why Russian oil is so impactful when they don't produce a lot. Russia produces just 10% of the world's oil. Why is it throwing off the entire global energy market?
Well, thanks very much for having me. I mean, the reason is that the oil markets are tight. We know that there's only anywhere from 2 to 4 million barrels of spare production per day. And so when you take as many as 4 to 5 million barrels of exports, Russian exports of oil, potentially off the market, or you make it more expensive to buy that oil because people now demand discounts, the price is going to go up, as we've seen in the past couple of weeks.
So then how important is it that OPEC pushes out more oil? Could that make the difference?
Yes. If all Russian oil exports were to come off the market, which is unlikely, but a significant portion of them could. So that's 4 to 5 million barrels of oil per day. When the world consumes roughly 100 million barrels of oil per day, then the question is, where is that oil going to come from? How are you going to replace it? And there aren't very many sources of spare capacity in the world. They include, of course, U.S. shale production, which is slowly coming back. But, after the oil price crash of 2020, a lot of firms were burned. So there's a reluctance to invest when you don't know how long the price of oil is going to remain at these levels. There's Iran, which, if the nuclear agreement is revived, might be able to produce another 1 million barrels a day in about a year. And then there's Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which together can probably produce anywhere from 2 to 3 million barrels of additional oil per day. But they're in no rush to do so right now because oil at $110, $120 a barrel is good for them.
A lot of people, many people, are using this current situation as a strong argument for us to shift away from renewable, or rather shift towards renewable energy sources and away from more traditional sources. Do you buy that argument? And I don't know if it would make much of a difference at this point, though.
Right. I mean, I think most people agree that the world is in a transitional period and that we are moving towards much more of a renewable energy mix for climate reasons, as well as just because it's more sustainable. But the problem is in the short term. The short to medium term, frankly, for the next several years, if not potentially several decades, we're going to continue to be dependent on oil. And, this was made clear just last week when Elon Musk, who's certainly been an evangelist for electric vehicles, said that we needed to produce more oil immediately because the world still needs it. And if we don't get more oil on the market soon, the price is likely to at least remain this high, if not climb even higher.
Let me ask you another question. If the U.S. just produced more oil, because we have vast amounts, would that change the price of oil? Would Americans get cheaper oil if we just produced more oil?
Yes, but it takes time. And, we've seen that over the past couple of years because U.S. Oil production declined when the price of oil fell to zero, actually, during the pandemic for a brief moment. And so a lot of those shale oil producers in the U.S. went bankrupt, or it was no longer profitable for them to produce from their wells. And so they stopped producing. They will come back at some point, but it takes time. It also takes investment. And they want to know that if they're going to make that investment, the price is going to remain high enough that they get a return on it. And so I think we can expect more oil from U.S. producers, but probably not for several months, if not potentially longer.
Right. Prem Kumar, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.